In this case, the officer, Eric, has classified the dog as menacing. And the primary effect of that is that Storm must be muzzled when in public. So we have not infringed in this case. We've just issued the classification. Is that clear enough, or do you want more? Would you like more detail?
Other questions, Councillor?
Well, I suppose the final step of the final option is prosecution, which is where we would actually take the dog owner to prosecute criminally, which we have not done either.
Thank you. I don't know whether it's appropriate a question to you or when the owners come forward, but I see there's a note of the animal's required to be, the dog's required to be desexed under the menacing classification, as well as muzzled when she's in public. I was going to ask, is she spayed or is she's spayed? Yeah, it wasn't clear from here, so I thought I would ask that. Thank you. So, no other questions? Well, thank you for your report. And I move that we've got two recommendations here. Receive the report. Oh no, we can leave that till the end actually. That's the decision. Forget that. That's good. Thank you very much. Item 5 is the report from Eric de Boer, Animal Management Officer. So I invite you up, Eric, to speak to your report. Over to you. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Eric de Boer. I'm an Animal Management Officer with the Waimakariri District Council, warranted under Section 11 of the Dog Control Act 96. I've been in the role for 8 years. On Friday the 15th of October, I was on duty working from the office when we received a call from customer services to advise that Mr. Weaver was at the counter to report an incident that had taken place earlier that morning, which resulted in him being bitten. So I went down and met with Mr. Weaver to take his statement. Are you happy to take the statement as read?
Yes, certainly I am. What about you?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Then I've arranged for him to send me photographs of the injury the next day because he'd already been to the doctor and been bandaged up. So, and also the location of it was a bit awkward to try and photograph. So after taking the statement, I went back to find out the dog details and then visited the property and met with Jared and his partner Jessie, introduced myself and for the reason I was there, and then we arranged to meet the dog to see what she was like with myself as a stranger, just to assess if she's, threatening towards people, or if it was just dogs, and it appears that it's just dogs that she has an aversion to. So I believe that she doesn't pose an immediate threat to people. She's not going to go out of her way to do that, and that's why I've opted for menacing, because I don't class her as dangerous to the public, just a menace towards other dogs. I left the property and advised that we'd be in touch in due course with the course of action that we would take. I got the photos from Mr. Weaver. You've got copies of those?
Yep.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And the report from the doctor. So the photos show clearly that it is a dog bite that he's sustained. So happy that that's what's happened. I then formally classified Storm as menacing on the 20th of October. So obviously, it's not a decision we take lightly. We take quite a bit of consideration and thought, as it's quite a big deal, obviously, for the dog owner. So we discuss it within the team. You know, we've all got a lot of experience, run through the scenario, and then make a call from there, what we think is appropriate course of action. Obviously, our job is to keep the community safe, and we felt that classifying as menacing was appropriate in this case.
Thank you. Any questions? Councillor Redmond?
Thank you, Eric. In terms going forward, a dog needs to be under effective control when in a public space, is that correct?
That's correct.
If Storm, in this case, you've indicated isn't a threat to people as such, but could be a threat to other animals,
That's right.
if the dog is on a lead in a public place, how can it be a threat to other animals if it's unmuzzled?
If it's under effective control, then obviously it's not going to be an issue, but it's the trying to mitigate the chance of it happening again, and all it's going to take is for the lead to slip out of your hand or lose control or slip and let go of the lead, and then it still doesn't achieve anything, whereas a muzzle will prevent any further harm, even if she got away.
In the circumstances as we know them on this occasion, if the dog was classified as menacing, would that have had any different outcome from what occurred?
Possibly not. Still would have escaped, I think.
Right, thanks very much.
Councillor Reynolds? Any questions? No? Okay. Just generally, between and following the line of Councillor Redmond, there's no review of the public muzzling requirement if menacing is confirmed. I note that the dog is now being, proposed to be taken to obedience training. Is there any, and it's a young dog, so my question would be, is there any review period, or in fact it stays to be muzzled in public for the rest of its life?
Once a dog is classified as menacing,
Yeah.
and you uphold the decision, it would stay with the dog for life.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Thank you for that. Councillor Meadows?
Just following on from Councillor Stewart's question, is there any mechanism for us to have this dog undergo the training that it's doing and then be re-adjudicated, I guess, reclassified, or is it just a case of now or never?
From past experience, it's either now or never. It would be something I would need to confer with my superiors about, really. I'm not aware of the training that's going on, so
I've got a letter here from our dog trainer. Should I bring that up now? Beautiful, thank you. Good afternoon. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for your time today. And we'd like to take this opportunity to apologise to Brian. Unfortunately, he can't be here for what has happened. It is not in our nature to not be able to apologise, especially with how upsetting the situation has been for my partner Jessie and myself. We've taken full responsibility, and we believe we're taking the right steps to making sure a situation like this never happens again. We felt we had to object as we never saw evidence of a bite until late last week, so it's very hard for us to comprehend this without seeing evidence ourselves. Jessie cannot fully recall what happened between the dogs that day, and if the guy didn't notice till he got home, how are we certain that it was our dog and not their dog? Storm has never shown any signs of aggression towards any dog or person. She loves playing and is very socialised. We take both dogs to the dog park. Oh, sorry, we have two dogs. We take both our dogs to the dog park every weekend, and this is why it's been a massive shock to us. We've never seen like this. So, due to what has happened, we've made contact with some dog trainers that afternoon, and we got booked in with Janice from Tevra Dog Training. The following weekend, we've taken her to one-on-one training and have since carried on with group classes, which is going really well. We bought a muzzle instantly, as it was the right thing to do, and we have also padlocked our gates as an extra precaution. Oh, yeah. Okay. We will carry on muzzling when out in public and carry on training her for as long as we need. The hardest part for us is for her to be classified menacing for her whole life, which you guys obviously understand that with your questions earlier. Is there an opportunity to revisit this if it is upheld, essentially like a prisoner doing time? You know, they eventually get released and live a somewhat normal life again. You know, can we revisit this down the line? We got Storm and our other dog to enjoy our life and have fun. We like to take them places like the river, play ball and stick for them to have fun also. Knowing that we will never be able to do this again is really hard, to say the least. So obviously she can't pick up a ball or a stick at the moment. As we have said, we believe we've done everything possible, taken all the right steps to resolve this issue. Once again, we apologise for this incident that has happened. Accident that has happened. And I have a statement here from Jessie. I don't know if you guys want to hear that or... Yep. On Friday the 15th, the internal garage door was left open while putting stuff in the car. Jessie thought the two dogs were out eating breakfast when she saw when she saw Storm shoot past her, running towards the other dog. She could have been running to say hello, but we understand it is not okay for any dog to do this. Jessie's knee gave way, which has slowed her down. She grabbed her collar and fell to the ground, crying. Storm then just sat next to her, no barking, growling, or trying to lunge. She apologised multiple times, but just got yelled at, saying your dog is so aggressive. That's all that was said before he walked off to talk to a guy down the road. Not being able to move and get up, and for it to be left like that, has been extremely hard for Jessie. We got sent his medical bill, which said there was an abrasion on it. We paid this instantly and also asked to call and apologise, which was declined.
Thanks, Jared and Jessie, for coming along. I was quite impressed by reading your version of events. and the responsible attitude you've shown. How long have you owned Storm?
2 years now. Well, just about 2 years, yeah.
So you've had the dog since it was a puppy.
Yeah, we got it as a puppy, yeah.
And when you take it to a dog park, does it show any interest in other dogs?
Yeah, definitely. She loves to play with them, but very, she doesn't show any aggression or anything like that. Yeah.
And have there been any other incidents at any stage where the dog has misbehaved or played over aggressively with other animals?
I guess like any puppy, you understand that sometimes things go far and that's how they learn, but nothing that's excessive like this, no.
And you've provided us with a letter.
Yeah.
Are you following up the training and recommendations?
Yes, yeah, we go to training every Sunday now, well, when it's booked on. We've been going for a month or so now, yeah, so, and we're seeing good results in her recall and things like that, so, yeah, she's definitely getting better.
I think these dogs are quite intelligent.
Yeah, definitely.
My Cocker Spaniel could bear some training, I think, but you're finding the training worthwhile and you're getting benefits from
Definitely,
it.
yeah.
Right, thank you.
Hi, Jared and Jessie.
G'day.
I can understand that this is quite a traumatic thing for a dog owner to go through, having been a dog person all my life. So you've had Storm since she was a pup. Did you undergo any puppy training with her at all?
No, not actually, because it was COVID when she was quite a bit younger, so, and then I suppose we may have been a bit lazy in the times between, but yeah.
So have you had big dogs before like this?
In our families, yeah. So my parents have got a big dog and Jesse's parents also got a big dog, yeah.
Because I mean, that is one thing that when it comes to dogs, big dogs can never be forgiven for the transgressions that smaller dogs get away with. So it's always imperative that you really take that really seriously and make sure that your dogs don't grow up to get out of hand.
Yeah.
So it sounds to me like this is a case of territorial aggression. Has she ever shown territorial aggression before with other animals or looking out the window, seeing dogs or birds or whatever, looking out the window kind of thing?
I suppose she chases birds in the backyard, but yeah, apart from that, no, not that I can think of, no.
And the training that you've got, I understand Tevra is, I do know of the company. They're quite well known. So you are getting good results with that.
Yeah.
And how long do you intend?
Oh, as long as possible. Yes, we're just gonna keep doing it because it's making such a difference. She's like a different dog almost.
And what is your other dog?
He's a collie shepherd cross thingy. Yeah.
So similar, right?
Yeah. We got him as a rescue dog, so we got him maybe, a year ago or so, and we think he's about 4, maybe, something like that, so he's already well trained and, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Have you seen the photos of Mr. Weaver's leg in the agenda?
Yes,
Yeah.
we saw them, was it Thursday or Friday last week, yeah, so that was why we kind of thought, well, we need to object this because we haven't seen any evidence as such. Yeah, as far as
it's definitely more than an abrasion.
Yes,
yeah.
definitely.
I mean, you can see the 2 entry points of the bite. I was also going to ask you about your other dog. Is it neutered?
Yes, yeah, we got him neutered, yeah.
Okay. Right, and I note that you say in your statement to us, she's generally a good dog, but can get a bit unruly while playing with other dogs. What does she do? I mean, this is an obedience issue. If Jessie was obviously calling her back and she failed to come back when she was called, I mean, when you say she gets a bit unruly, What does that mean?
She's vocal when she plays, so it can sound like she is maybe being aggressive, but she is a vocal dog, so she does sort of.
So it's just
But
vocalisation.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I guess just a wee bit. Yeah.
And have you had instances before when you call her and she doesn't come back?
Yes.
And hopefully the training will
Oh yeah, 100%.
deal to that.
We're noticing it already. We have a long rope that we can let her off on now and call her, and she comes straight back, and
Yeah.
we're rewarding her with treats and that. So yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Any further questions? Councillor Redmond?
Thanks, Jared. Do you accept that Storm caused the injuries to Mr Weaver?
I accept that she, I suppose she did in a way, because she ran across the road and didn't listen. But it's just very hard for us to believe that she was the one that bit him. Whether, I don't know, it's kind of hard to explain, if you know what I mean. If he'd got in between the two of them, I suppose she did, yes, yeah.
Thank you. And is it correct your property is fully fenced?
Yes, yeah.
But on this occasion the dog Storm got out through the garage?
Yeah.
Is there anything you can do to prevent that occurring again?
We've made a point to put the dogs outside every time we go out to the garage now, so they're out in the backyard and the doors are all closed, so they can't escape yet.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Councillor Morris, I've just looked at the statement from Mr Weaver, and he says that his dog was, you've said that you accept that Storm caused the injuries, because he talks about his old dog being on her back when your dog sort of came across the road to her. Have you read this comment?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. And have you anything else to bring up after seeing this?
It's pretty hard for me to say and comment because I wasn't there, and obviously Jessie was a bit slow to get there because her knee, so she's, so.
And you, Jessie, acknowledged that this that the old dog was on its back, and
I don't actually know if I've seen that, but I don't recall seeing it.
okay.
Yeah.
This is
Dog on its back.
this is Mr Weaver's response to your report that's in the agenda. You
We
haven't seen that?
it? No.
Oh, well, I wonder if they could, because we're taking this because Mr Weaver's unable to attend, and he's responded to your. Yes. Okay. We'll just take a short break while Jared and Jessie have a read. Thank you. Zoom. Is there anything you'd like to tell us or add after reading that?
I guess for me, just to be recalling everything's quite hard, but
Yes.
I don't think, I remember when I went to grab Storm's collar that the other dog's teeth were there, like just my, cause I was like, oh, I have to watch out for my hand, but I don't recall it being on the ground on its back.
Okay.
But that's just, yeah, for the whole situation, it was just such a burnout.
Yeah. From experience, I know how these things work or
Yeah.
don't work, and yes, it's fairly intense, and recall is always all over the show a bit. All right. Well, thank you for that. I don't know. I think probably now. So we've got Mr. Weaver's statement, and then we've got his. We've got this. So we'll table that and accept it. I guess is there any points that we need to consider with that evidence? Bit difficult seeing he's not here. All right. Councillor Redland?
I guess this all happened very quickly, Jessie. Have you any idea how long the whole incident occurred?
It would have been, saw her shoot past me. I tried to run, but my knee snapped straight away, so that maybe took a little bit longer just to get across the road, and I would have grabbed her collar. I don't remember wrestling her off because I was like, I don't think I would have been able to. Just grabbed her collar and fell to the ground, and he stood there and said some things and then just walked off. So maybe 2 minutes max. It just was, yeah.
Thank you. Anything more? Councillor Mills? No? Okay. All right. At this point, I think we'll take a short adjournment, and then I'd be quite keen to have some advice from Tracy and Eric along the lines of just what options are available, and then we can work through the deliberation. So thank you too. I know it's traumatic to have experienced that with your dog, but also probably traumatic to come and tell us about it now. But thank you very much. Appreciate your frankness, and certainly that the dog is now in training is a great outcome. So well done. All right, so we'll just take a small, what are we now, 2:04, say back in at 2:15, gives us 10 minutes. How's that? Um,